Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Sam Namora here, and it's a Sunday, February 28th, and tonight is the last day of the month of February, as we know. And I have a special guest with me tonight, John Claude. John Claude, good evening, and thanks for joining me tonight.
Good evening, Sam, and thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. So, for those who familiar with the Calgary, and we do have a really an interesting and very special organization called Soccer Without Boundaries. Soccer Without Boundaries. I think and we have the founder of that organization to tell us a little bit more about it. Because just before I make my intro, Black History Month, and hopefully this month all of us as a community, as a Canadian, we did our part to acknowledge the struggle of the Black Canadians and try to work hard to make sure that wherever we're doing is we're going to bring people together and we're going to learn from each other. John Claude has a beautiful, I would say John Claude's story really summarized the stories of so many immigrants and so many Canadians. But his story is so beautiful and it's so amazing and so inspiring. So I'm just gonna let John tell us a little bit more about John Claude directly from him. So John, the mic is yours, and please tell us a little bit more about you coming to Canada from way back then in Rwanda, I guess.
Thank you very much, Sam. Yes, my name is Jean-Claude Munyezamu, and I am from Rwanda originally, and I came to Canada 23 years ago. It was February 2nd, 1998. So landed in Montreal. Then after 2 months, I moved to Calgary, and I've been here since. I left Rwanda when I was a teenager, a little bit 10 months before genocide. And I was in Kenya. Basically, coming to Canada, I came from Kenya. So here I am father of 3 beautiful children and a husband and someone who is trying to make a difference. I don't know what else I can say.
Honestly, and I think you did. And you did make a difference in a really big way. So I think people knows you through your non-for-profit organization, Soccer Without Boundaries. Was Soccer Without Boundaries something you started like right after you came in here, or around what time? Because as an immigrant back then, I'm sure, did you have to go through the English?
Yes.
The money and honey too.
So I came here. I didn't speak English, of course. No, I didn't. So when I came, there were 2 things I needed to do. Number one, after genocide, I had the responsibility to many people back home. I lost many family members. I had many children I needed to pay school fees and other responsibilities. So my first priority was finding a job, and I did. I was working in High River, so I was driving 5 in the morning, wake up and drive, coming back to Calgary and go to English class and come home. I did that for 3 years. Then once I was spoke English well enough, I had to quit and went to school actually to take upgrading and continue my English. I got my high school diploma. Then back then I had a wife, and my wife went to school. I started driving taxi. So that's when I saw that my neighborhood needed something. And that's 11 years ago. Officially, But I started to coach soccer as soon as my son was 4 years old. I was
Right.
coaching soccer in my neighborhood, and always I take one child with my child in my neighborhood. So we were living in the public housing, and I didn't like the way life was for children, and I thought I can do something about it. And I tried to reach out to organizations, but I thought they were using the very wrong way, and I like a shortcut if I can. So
I
what
see.
I did, I saw just kids need something, and yeah, I think I can provide what they needed. So, and that's how it started.
This is house chart. So at that time, you just started by yourself, and you start just to play in, like bringing kids to play soccer, and that was in the Southwest Calgary, still in the same area, or which part of which neighborhood was it?
Yeah, it's a Grand Brook, southwest neighborhood. And I
Right.
can't say I started by myself because what I did, I know that anytime when you want to reach out to children,
Right.
if you don't have parents, you really don't have a children. And what I did, I brought a soccer ball and just put in the park, and kids come and play. After 20 minutes, I said, whoa, 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 stop.
Right.
When they were excited, I said, go get your parents. And there was a many excuse. My parents don't speak English. I said, that's okay, you're going to translate. Oh,
Right.
my dad is not home. I say, yeah, bring your mom. Because they did, some
Oh.
of them did associate soccer with the mom. So mom comes, I say, this is what I need to do. This park, kids come to smoke marijuana here.
Yeah.
They go to shoplift and come to divide their stuff here. None of you appreciate that, the parents. So I said, now we can do something. Can we take back this park and make it soccer field for our children? I had about 25 parents. They say, yes. I say, okay, you own it. You're standing there. If ball cross that line, the ball is out. So I have this
Right.
army of women. And yeah, we had our first game and it was over. After 3 weeks, I needed more than a parent. So I reached out to the community association and the churches, and yeah, that's how we started, and just
So
become.
so John, I mean, knowing what I know so far for the last 5 years or six, or getting 5.5 now, I really think soccer is one of the activities that it's really easy to connect with so many people from different backgrounds. Language is not like really that important, but I mean, you built a really very successful organization, and now it's your phase. You're evolving to the next phase. But before we go any further, so soccer, all kids like to play, but from my experience, I always find the parents, especially the newcomers parent, the new immigrant parents, they don't have the time, they don't have the financial stability to spend so much time and take kids to all these activities and all this stuff. Was it hard for you then to bring kids in and also to bring their parents in, or something you have to go and do it yourself through yourself or the volunteers to bring the kids in, to do the soccer, to drop them off and get all the clothes and all the stuff? Tell us a little bit, how did you manage in the beginning?
The one thing I saw was many obstacles and
Right.
many assumptions. Okay,
Okay.
because number one is here when you go to play soccer, there's too many. Canadian society is too organized. Okay,
Right.
to the point where everything is very serious, and sometimes immigrant families are very intimidated. Okay, you
Right.
find a way how to get out of it. Number one, there's too many paperwork. Okay, so my goal was eliminating any excuses and any obstacles. Number one, I brought the soccer right in the park in the front of those public housings. Okay,
Right.
there are more than 300 housing. Okay, I knew there are more than 600 children, to be conservative with numbers. So
Right.
then the children don't need to cross the street. Okay, And so, as long as I had the parent blessing and those volunteers I had, I knew that I can create something. Then my job was making sure that everybody feel they belong. So one thing
Right.
about soccer is international language. You don't need to speak English, okay?
Right. True.
And anyone can play. So then what needs to do was make sure you create a soccer that 5 years old can play against 17 years old. And basically where 17 is going to be taking care of 12-year-old, 12-year-old taking care of 8-year-old, 8-year-old taking care of 6-year-old. And that was my goal. Removing basically not too structured, okay, not too intimidating. And, most of the children were coming from somewhere else. And, when you come from refugee camp, life is a chaos, There's no schedule, there's nothing. I wanted to create something that's going to make teenager wake up Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, and show up.
Oh, I
and
see.
That's what we did. About money, you know what? We didn't start with the shoes. We didn't think of uniform. We didn't think of anything else. Just I played soccer with bare feet until I was 14 years old, I think. Okay, if you love soccer, you're gonna play it no matter what, and that's what I wanted to inspire these kids. And they came. Some of them they were really really good. And what I did again, you have to understand in the life of kids there is something I call then what. Okay, you bring soccer, we play every Saturday. There's gonna be moment of then what. Okay, so I was coaching soccer in the club. I approached the club. I say, would you give these kids? Would you waive fees for these children to come and play soccer? So there was a team that was losing every game, and I told them I can give you 2 kids. They can turn the team around. They say, are you sure? The parents say, we're going to come to pick them up and drive. I say, okay, great, but they need the shoes. They say, what size? I say, size 7. Oh, my son have 2 pairs. They give 1 pair and make sure kids are ready. When the kids went there, the team that was really, they lost the first, there is games, then there is a return. When you repeat, playing against the same teams. When they went to play with against the team who beat them 7-0, it was an indoor game. The kids were beating teams 10-0, and my 2 boys were scoring all goals. So the parents say, okay, do you have more? I said, yes, I do. Okay, so this is how basically we managed to achieve those kids who really have ambition and drive, send them to go to compete, and those ones who like to have a fun and just stay in the park, keep them right there. But those who went to play in competitive, they had the responsibility to come back and teach the other what they learn, also inspire other kids, telling the story how they've been in this amazing soccer field in the winter, indoor soccer. So that's how we managed to basically create something where children have something to share.
So instead of kids staying home doing nothing, or maybe activities for parents, soccer was your way to help these kids and to give them an alternative. And I think Soccer's Without Boundaries, really, it's a well-known here in Calgary. Do you know roughly how many students come and goes, and how many soccer players, or roughly how many people, how many kids, I should say? Do you have statistics?
If I'm gonna say how many kids who went through this program, I think 2,000 children. Okay.
Oh, wow.
However, right now who are acting, okay, in the program is 680. Okay.
Oh, 680. Oh,
yes,
wow.
those are children who are active in soccer only. And
Right.
now we moved, we have many programs because you see, once we started soccer, the children started also getting involved with other things. Okay. So we have kids who went to try out with West Ham United in England. So seeing kids who born in a Glenbrook, okay, started playing soccer in the park. The next day he was in an airplane going to compete in the United States, West Ham United Academy. They love him, invited him to England. He went there twice. So those are the things that make kids really stay. Also, the children started having a story to tell Monday morning at school. You know, the kids who used to come to school, what did you do in the on weekend? Nothing. Now the kids say, yeah, we had the soccer game, and we started creating, outcome. I was surprised. We have one girl, she's graduating this year from University of North Dakota on the soccer scholarship. She started in that part. Okay, so basically, soccer was a way, because I know that growing up, soccer was a way to make a friend. Soccer was a way to show what I can do. Soccer was a way to basically, it's beside eating and
give
going
kids.
to school. Yeah.
Right. I really, I can relate to that. Is how soccer's also help families and help parents to get their kids like excited and motivated and more focused. So it really helped everyone. But I know how hard to do this soccer program. But mashallah, you've done that. So let's move into. Was there any help from let's say other organizations, other big organizations that work with the newcomer, with refugees, newcomers, immigrants, kids, and all this stuff? Was there more involvement from other organization, or that strictly was mainly soccer without boundaries?
No. Because when it's come to there's something I have. This organization, they are good at something and very bad on other things. Because collaboration with this big organization, it's like a China partnering with my country, little country, Rwanda. Okay, either is a takeover, basically instead of coming and say, "What do you need?" Okay, or they come and say, "This is what we want." Okay, so what I want, maybe that's not what kids need. Okay,
exactly.
I never do anything before I consult these children. We have organization we can change anytime. If kids don't like it, I ask them, okay, how can we do it? So basically, yes, there was attempt, okay, but each time when they come, I was asking them, okay, why should I, okay, follow what you want? Show me what success do you have, okay? I said, this is my specialty, okay? Why should I change to what you have? So I think they were offering help that I didn't need. And also, you know what? It was very good, because maybe if I have accepted, we would have a different organization today.
I see.
However, we're very happy. I can tell you that for almost 10 years, maybe when it's come to soccer, no one even found soccer, okay? Until maybe after 7 years, for summer, I think Calgary Foundation, they sponsored some of our soccer camps. And then people start seeing us and they start giving money. We have churches neighborhood. We have a church that come and say, you know, it's been 7 years since the kids broke into our church. Okay, so thank you very much. What do you need? I say, okay, so we need a gym. Okay, so you know, we had then we had another Canadian Tire. I went to ask Canadian Tire, I need some corn. You know, they say, no, thank you very much what you're doing, because shoplifting went down, go pick up what you need. So then I negotiated with co-op. I said, instead of hiring someone who spend time chasing the children, why can't you hire the parent of these children,
Right.
and hire the teenagers? That would be cheaper than hiring security guard. You know what? They did it. Today, when you go in that store, you're gonna see families working in that place, and that's what I call a community ownership.
Right.
And it's made really different. Now kids are proud to live in that neighborhood.
Right. Well, this is a really an interesting thing, because I know your program was probably, or your organization is one of the least organization get access to so-called public funding, and probably through your donors and through your personal contact and parents and kids, you get the bulk of your financial support from the people that you serve, more than just the government being heavily involved in these type of programs. Am I correct on that, John?
I got a government. I can tell you that the first time I got a government grant was this year. Okay, it was this year.
Wow.
Basically, money we raised this year, only last year 2020, only 13% came from the government, and it was the first time to receive money from any level of government. Okay?
Right.
And they love my outcome, but the way funding is set. Okay, there is a paper I did write back in May. It's called From Systemic Racism to Systemic Liberation. Okay,
right.
Where I did talk about a charity transformational, where sometimes when we donate money, we never think of the beneficiaries, those impact and the outcome. Thinking of how donor is going to feel,
right,
rather than what impact is going to make on the ground. Okay, and I think that's a problem we have with the government, because the people who set these rules with the government, they have no idea how to be poor. Okay, and they have no idea how community grassroots work. However, when I look at it, there is many grants I'm not applying because I'm not qualified for that. However, when I look at them, I say, I wish I can tell them how to ask those questions, because should be basically yes, donors should of course get what they need. However, also we should think of those who are going to receive, because each community is different.
For sure, yes. Yeah. So, but the result you did, I mean, for the minimum so-called government support, with more smart and I would say creative programs like yours, you get really a lot achieved with very skin operation versus a hefty programs with lots of so-called admins and a lot of like a board meetings, and the achievement is not really, it doesn't really weigh like how much planning took place. So do you think this model that you really created, and I think it's very successful, because as I said, we didn't talk yet about the new organization, but do you think that model where you have like your organization like yours counting more on public support versus the government support is the way to go? Or you think the government should do more for your program?
Oh, government should do more, because look, we have 100% high school graduation rate.
Yes.
Okay, it's not what the government wants.
Right.
All of those young people they fund is not what they want. Okay, so when it comes to crime, it went down way down. Okay, in that public housing. Okay.
Right. Yes.
And it's not what police and the city and everyone wants. Okay, so we show that we can replicate this model. We do work
Right.
with the council housing, When there is
Right.
trouble neighborhood, sometimes they call me, okay? And it's not what, so for me is, there is two things. The public and the government, there is where they can work together, because we should inform government what is working, because we are experts in the grassroots community, okay?
Right. Right.
Otherwise, I never accept money if I know that I'm gonna fail. Okay, that's something that I never accept it. Okay, sometimes government, they approach me, they say apply this funding stream. When I see the rules and everything, I
Yes.
say no, I'm not going to. I cannot succeed under these rules. But if you tell me what you need, the outcome you want to see, and you leave me
Right.
alone, use my own process, I can produce this. However, because someone from university somewhere sat down and spent many hours and tested this and that, they believe has to be that way. Okay.
Okay.
And that's, something I'm doing is not a new thing. For sure, at
Right.
your village, that's how you do it. Okay. For sure, somewhere else in the world, the people in the community, okay, there's a minimum they can do. For example, if I'm going to spend money, what we do in the community, hiring people, my organization will be more than $10 million for paying people. However, when you manage to convince people that is their benefit and they believe it, they buy into it, they own it, okay? Believe me, they're gonna give their time, okay? So there is when the government should step in, and there is when the government should just back off and listen.
Okay. So John, definitely there's a time when the government should stop and listen and learn, I should say. So looking back 11 years since you started this Soccer Without Boundaries, what was the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome? What was the biggest challenge for your organization for the last 11 years?
Yeah, the biggest hurdle was not from children, it was from actually the organizations outside. Because social workers, that cannot, you need insurance, you need the shoes, you need, we have a biro one time who said, this is not soccer field, okay?
Okay.
And, so, what I did, I told the kids, okay, if you see that car, just run away. When he goes, you come back, okay?
Right.
And so until I got to community association support and the neighbors, you see those people who would be afraid you're going to kick the ball in their backyard, because Southwest public housing is tricky because it's surrounded by middle class white neighborhood, okay? And used to be them and us.
Right.
However, what I was doing when the kids were peeling in the fence, those kids who ski and they play hockey, they never try soccer, I would go and knock at the door and tell parents, we're playing soccer here, no commitment. Send your kids and come and just kick soccer ball. If they like it, they're gonna stay. If they don't like it, they just can't go. No commitment, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Guess what? The kids start coming. Those families start coming to watch every Saturday morning. Then some of them, they say, I can help to volunteer. What can I do? I say, okay. When you promise me something, yes, I will not leave you alone. Many people, they know that,
Oh, I see.
And I started having those people in the neighborhood, and that's how, then we started soccer camp. Then at the end of the soccer camp, we started the barbecue, okay?
Right.
And this barbecue, we had the halal barbecue, and we had the regular barbecue, okay?
So you have the halal barbecue and the regular barbecue.
And the regular barbecue, yes. And the way basically, until churches in neighborhood and the community associations, whenever they have a stampede breakfast, whenever they have anything, they always now do halal one side and the regular on the other side. Because now it's not them and the others,
Right.
It's basically we are all neighbors, okay? And that's something really, basically the obstacles and the hurdle was resources, because there's so many things we can do. We are not able to do that, okay?
Right.
We can really see, as I say, many children are different, okay? Sometimes I can spend the $500 on one child because I know how to identify children who need more,
Right.
and how I identified another kids that if I make sure they're in the middle, they will be okay. Okay. But the way you look at it is you're gonna see the kids who is troublemaker in neighborhood. Guess what? That's leadership sometimes. Okay. If you can take this energy and this attention and redirect and something, because they want to be a leader and respected. You know what? Some of that, I used to tell those kids, I say, you know, can you be my assistant? They say,
Yes.
oh, me? I say, yeah. So I say, so today you're not going to play soccer, you're going to be coach. Okay?
Nice.
But there is a rule. You cannot yell, you cannot argue, you cannot swear, you cannot be angry. And everyone has to respect you. But if you don't do those things, they will not respect. We have a meeting with the kids. I say, okay, listen, today, this is the coach. You will have to listen to, you know. And the beauty of soccer, there is expectation. There is a yellow card, there is a red card. Okay?
Yes.
And we still do it. We always do it. And which is, again, the Canadian were telling, oh, you're humiliating children. I say, you know, they know that Messi, the best soccer player on the planet, sometimes is humiliated in the front of billion on television. Okay, so
I see.
basically that was again introducing this sense of rules and the regulation and the
Right.
life of the chaos. So
Right.
and I approached them as soccer coach, not as babysitter or social worker. Okay. And hurdle was that dealing with, I didn't know any rules. It took us 3 years to get insurance.
Right.
We didn't have office. We didn't have anything. Then, you know, we organized very slowly to the point now, at least, I can get most of what we need when it comes to soccer. Thanks to many people in this city of Calgary, this beautiful. Once people see that you are doing something right,
Exactly.
okay, the people really step up. I love this city. Now, what I can tell you is our soccer program, it's well taken care of.
Perfect. And also, I think it's you're not in the Southwest anymore. You're Southwest and the Northeast of Calgary, right?
And the Northwest as well. During COVID, we expanded in the Northwest as well. So basically, during COVID, our organization grew 4 times.
So this is what I want to get into, because before COVID, I think you were just solely focused on soccer, right? Now your organization grew.
We had the soccer, after school programs, and we had the women programs, because the mother of those children, they come and say, hey, how about us?
Right.
Okay, I say, okay, it's up to you then. You organize yourself. Okay, I get 2 women who volunteer to come and say, what we're gonna do. I say, what women do when they meet? Say, oh, we can have a coffee. And Calgary Housing gave us a house. Okay. Then from there, we started celebrating International Women's Day, where we invite a very good women in the society coming to speak to these women if they want to know about the business. You know, the women every Friday night, they used to meet in this Calgary housing unit they gave us. And so we had the soccer. Then school principal is the one who invited me to come to start after school program, because she noticed that children in my program, they were way doing better than other children. She said, there is a way you can bring it at the school. I said, for sure we can. She reached out to an organization, one of funding agency in the city, to give us money for after school. When they come to interview me, they say, you know, you don't have qualified teacher, so we don't think this is going to work. I say, okay, if a child can spend 6 hours in the classroom, why would we need another qualified teacher after 6 hours? Okay,
interesting. Yes.
Yeah, then we you know, I told them, you know, they need something else. They need something to make them love school. They need something and make this school become something institution in the community they own, not a guest as it is. Because most of migrants, we are a guest in almost everything, where we are always hosted. Okay, very few things we host. Okay, I wanted to change that. We had the mothers who don't speak English even one word, who volunteer in this and after school. We have a woman who speaks very good English today. When she came to volunteer, she didn't speak English at all. But because we have people from 49 countries, the language we use is English.
Oh, okay. Now, now I totally understand. Just so Soccer Without Boundaries is not really just for so let's say a new people who, for everybody per se. As I said, you have so many countries, you have so many kids from different backgrounds, and it's both for women, for girls and boys. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about the me and you. We spoke about after COVID. In COVID, there was like all outdoor activities pretty much stops and shut. So tell us a little bit about your organization activities for the last 12 months, because I know you're heavily involved in so many other programs, and especially with the new names or a new spinoff of Soccer Without Boundaries. So would you please tell us more about the last 12 months?
Okay, so you know, March 16, 2020, we knew that we have to stop. Before even the government tell us to stop, we sent email to parents. We have a system we call community captains. Okay.
Right.
So sometimes we don't need to send emails. I have 4 people in every community. If I call 2 kids, I can bring together 250 kids in 2 hours.
Right.
And so I made a phone call and say, kids, okay, no more activities, no soccer, no after school, nothing. So I told my staff I had only one. We both were part-time.
Right. And
I told her, I said, you know, we don't have work on Monday.
Yes.
So on my way home, I received 75 phone calls in 2 hours. Everybody said, what's going to happen? Okay, there is COVID. The government is saying to stay home. What's going to happen? You know, some of us, where we come from, when the government says stay home, usually you go behind your house in the bush, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, you don't, when the government says stay home, you don't believe you should stay home.
Exactly.
So the question then I was telling them, okay, look, government is on our side. Okay, this is a very new thing. Nobody understands it. Government is gonna figure out in a couple of weeks. We will know. But inside me, I knew that it's not a couple of weeks. It reminded me, you know, when the war started and you're just leaving your house, you say, no, government troops are gonna fight these guys and kick them out. We're gonna come back to our houses in 2 weeks. So usually nobody ran away thinking that I'm coming back. I came back to think, okay, this is like when I left my country. You know, I thought it's just gonna be, you know, few weeks and I'm coming back, life is normal. So I told them, okay, look, government is still trying to figure out what it is. Just wait. Then I received a phone call of a woman. She had the baby, 3 days old. She asked me what I'm gonna do. And I said, wait a second. I phoned my staff. I said, no, you have a job on Monday. Just what you're gonna do. If you are in the office, I will be out. If I'm inside, you will be out. So then I said, okay, how many people could be in this woman's shoes because we always work with people in need. So I told my MLA, you know, some politicians, they make a mistake and give me their cell phone number during campaign.
Right.
You know? So yeah, then I had a reason, but my MLA is a really nice guy and he used to be my volunteer. So I phoned him, I say, you know, I have this situation. I need just $100. Okay. He gave me a gift card from Superstore of $1,000. So I said, okay, great. $1,000. I phoned my kids, my community captains. I said, okay, look, I'm going to give you the work, but you don't go in anyone's house. You stand outside. Ask people in the house. So I went and we created a list, name, address, how many children, how old is children. Just simple. I took a clipboard. I took 4 of them. I give to the kids in the neighborhood. I said, okay, go to neighborhood. Okay, who has more than 5 children and it's only one parent? Okay.
Oh, wow, that's good. Yeah.
Who has a very new baby who is 1 month old or less? Okay.
Good.
Who is very old and anyone with disability.
Right.
Okay? So I give them basically all of those criteria. Within 2 days, we have 127 families.
Oh,
then
wow.
I went to the superstore for shopping. We started delivering food on March 17. And then one lady who was the leader of a women group, she phoned and said, how can I help? I said, I need your help because we're doing food hamper. And she came. And that's 127 families, one tell another one. They were telling me, so and so also is in the house, doesn't have anything. Those are people who didn't understand information, how to apply for those government benefits and anything. Right. Then we started helping them to apply. Once you get it, you out of the system, we started helping another person. That again reminded me during the war, when you know where someone is hiding, you're responsible to help them. Okay.
So true.
And that's how we started. Now we have more than 800 families.
Oh, wow. So you have more than 800 families you're still helping, or that's the total number of family you provide food hampers for?
No, we still have. Today, probably we have about 700 and something, because if anyone gets a job, our organization is based on trust and relationship. Okay.
Perfect.
If someone gets a job, they volunteer to call us and say, thank you very much. Also, people, we're still delivering the food.
Actually, I just want to mention, one of the guy that I referred to you guys almost less than a year ago. I mean, almost like 7-8 months ago. I have a conversation with him today, and he told me that he is working now, and he would like to volunteer delivering food because he said your organization helped him back in the days, and now he's good on his own. He has a vehicle, and he want to help and deliver him food as well. So that's exactly what you were just saying.
That's what I call community ownership. Now this person think basically they own. We don't like people to see us as an institution. Okay, right. We want people to see us as neighbors, because when we drop the food, okay, we also like to talk to them if it's possible. Okay, what else do you need?
Right.
Okay, so because of that, in Southwest, we started delivering food, including updating people what's going on.
Exactly.
In the Southwest, where we are, we still have only 1 case of COVID since it started.
Great.
Okay, only one.
Only one.
Only one in Southwest where we are.
Great.
In Northwest, we had 3. Okay, in our families, we have now it's growing because Alberta Health now is giving people our organization when they need food or other things. Because we started back in March, if someone is in quarantine, we give them food that's going to last for 10 days. Even if they need 1 jug of milk, we drive and deliver it, making sure no one is going to go in the store. Okay?
Oh, Nice.
Okay, so and this is how we started that system back. Again, if you see people we used to help now and coming back to give back, to deliver food, okay, it's amazing. Okay, again, this is another problem. I realized that when you are African and you lose a job, you have to change your diet. Okay, there was no food for Black people can eat. We don't eat canned food. Okay, there's many people we don't eat, and this is when I say, okay, wait a second. So food security here, don't even think 5% of population of this city, and we know that Black people are one of poor in our society. So what I started now is bringing those people that, you know, these people eat. If you're from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, you come in my place, you get your corn flour. So if you're from Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, you get your cassava flour. If you're from Nigeria, Ghana, you find your pounded yam, plantain, okay? And if you're from Morocco, you're gonna have your couscous, okay? So, and again, that's a gap that existed in food security. And when I started, the food bank was closed and all organizations were closed, okay?
Right.
Again, that's when I realized, you know, there is a problem with food security. If a superstore can open, okay? Right. So what poor people are going to do? And remember those chaos when even if you apply government programs, it take a month, I think, okay? So basically, that's when I said there's a problem, and I said, okay, we do very well to close this gap. And then what I become like an advocate, just to point out where is a problem. And you know what? We have about 800, probably 700 and some families, because some of them, once they get a job, they get a EI or something, we remove them from the program.
Right.
And also, the food we give to people, they eat the food 100%. If they don't, they tell us, okay? And also, I've been teaching people to cook spaghetti. Those people who normally don't eat spaghetti. You stand outside and say, okay, you boil the water. Everybody can do that. Put spaghetti, put a little salt, little oil. If they change color, just pick one, and if it's not crunchy, okay, right. Yeah, it's ready. You know, the kids love it.
Yeah,
okay? Again, because it's a family and the neighbors.
Okay, wonderful. So John CLaude, definitely, as I said, there's people who knows you. They know how successful is your organizations. They know how happy your the kids that they attend your classes, your training, and all the stuff. But let's talk about your experience from a different angle. And what I mean by this, because now we're in as of today is the last day of the Black History Month, and it's very important to address issues that really people usually shy away from it. From your experience in this organization or from the last 23 years, let's talk and dedicate whatever time we have, 20 some minutes or less, into the struggle of the Black Canadians. Do you think at any point you had so-called less access to resources based on your based on being a Canadian, African, or if I'm allowed to use that term from like in the state? Do you feel the race background played any role, whether negative or positive, in your case in Canada?
It's pretty negative. Okay.
Okay.
I give you one example that you know very well. Okay. Again, there is racism and there is a Black racism. It's two things. Okay. Let me give you an example. You know very well East Zone Newcomer Collaborative.
Okay.
You know this group? 17 organizations. They got $2 million from 3 levels of government. When you look at them, 0 Black-led organization. Okay, that's one example. Okay, 0.
0 Black organization.
Oh yeah, 0, completely 0, none. Okay, what they tell you, they say, oh, we hire Black people. Okay, that's the difference. We have a very successful Black people who are running organization and serving so many people in this city. Okay, they know that the system they're using, I invented it, delivering door to door. Okay, and also I do that on a very cheaper price because I have army of volunteers. Okay. However, I would like to hire a couple more people. Okay, who will be organizing these volunteers? Okay, we know where people live. Okay, we do know, as I said, is basically trust and relationship. We have a relationship we built for 11 years. Is not, we don't call our people clients. Okay. However, when it's come to money, we are kicked out of the table. So that's one. Also, funders. Funders are starting now to basically to get it. I hope they are changing, because look, like many organizations now are basically setting the role of people who is going to be looking after that equity. Okay, and I hope they're going to change. But you will see if they are giving money to all organizations, if they say it's going toward the Black people, it's going to have a certain amount. Okay, federal government is not going to be more than 45,000. And also qualification is, I was denied funding for Black people by federal government. Okay, which is administered with someone in Toronto, one organization. You know, I was denied because my board member are not all Black. Okay, then what I told them, I said, you know, here in Calgary, Black people, we are the first and second generation. Okay, so then if I'm going to run organization, I need accountant, I need a lawyer, I need those people who have the skills that I don't have. So
sorry, just a second. Sorry, hold on. You said that Black people, the first and second generation, but there's a lot of, especially here in Alberta, we do have like a well-established, and maybe it's not too big of a community, but there's a Canadian, Black Canadian for centuries in here, or for generation and generations. Are we talking about two different Black community here, or this is just like normal?
No, it's what I mean is, if you see what it takes to have capacity, we don't have enough Black people who will be coming to be on the board of every organization we have here. Okay, so most of us, majority of Black people, they come from Africa. Majority. Also, those are the one who have these problems. Everyone would love to solve. Okay. Yeah. We have we have a Black Canadian here since 1800. Okay. But what I mean is, when I go to create organization, you have a choice to have community association. Then they will not give you funding. They say, oh, you don't have a capacity to receive funding. Then once you go out to look that capacity, they tell you you're not Black enough.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is basically obstacles Black people we are facing, and they hope we're going to be quiet. Because if I'm going to, today, many organizations, they hated me because I pointed out those 17 organizations. Everybody knows I am the one who invented this program of door-to-door delivery of food. That's how we're gonna keep infection out of population. This is how we're gonna kind of help people dignify food for them, because some people is the first time they need the food in their lives. You have a taxi drivers who never need the food in their life. Some of them will die instead of go lining up to receive food. Bringing this food at home is the way of helping them mentally, morally, to pick themselves up again when everything is over and say, you know what, community took care of me. This is wonderful. This is wonderful community. And then you empower someone really not to be ashamed to understand that it's happened. Okay. So basically, then when people figure out we invented, we can do this and that and keep you out of the table. Okay. So we have a huge network. Okay. So this is when you wonder, okay, why? Because of money, they don't want to give us piece of that pie. Okay. And this keep happening and keep happening to Black community. This is why many Black communities start organization, very few succeed basically to pass 1 year. Okay. Because either you're going to be hired by those big organizations. If you refuse to hire or to be hired, you know what? For me, what they accuse me is I do everything by myself. I say, okay, so then I'm Superman. Still fancy. If you believe I can get this result and everything on my own, so I'm Superman. But I have a huge team. You come to volunteer for me. You know how many people I have who do everything I do, but we do it in the way many people don't understand. Instead of coming and say, you know, how do you do it? Okay. Because when you find 12 years old coaching soccer, okay, everybody say, no, this can't happen. Someone said the teenager is not reliable. They are not reliable if you don't trust them with the responsibility. Okay.
So true.
We do police check when they are 12 years old. They have that big certificate. They respect in the sport. That's the training they take, you know. They go online and do that and get certificate. And then it's okay, you're small group leader. Okay. So when someone who always jump and do things for people look at that, they say, no, what you doing? I say, we know what we're doing. People don't understand how we do it, and they don't want to learn how to do it. Okay. This is not a new though. This is basically how many places in the world they do it. Because when you are in public housing, it's just like a village somewhere in Asia, in Africa. The difference is your next door neighbor is not your brother. That's only difference. Then how can you find something people have in common and put it down there? Okay, rather than thinking them, oh, they are from here, let's group them right there. This one is from here, let's put them there. No, they have something in common for sure. Okay, if you can find it and bring them to work on it, okay, that's how to do it. And it's possible. Just people need to slow down and learn.
So true. John, unfortunately, we have only 2 minutes left, and I would like you I would like to give this 2 minutes to you so you can say, or you can at least tell people how to connect with your organization, how to support your Soccer Without Border. And also, if there's anything you need from us as a community member, please, the 2 minutes is yours.
Thank you very much. And thank you for this interview. What I can tell you is one thing is I want to say we live in a wonderful city, despite everything. But, you know, when people come in a big way, okay, I really thank everyone and all of you for support in one way or another. However, we still have a need. Yes, we need volunteers, food delivering. Also, we are tutoring children online. Okay. We know that really our kids are behind. So if you can tutor children, get in touch with us. Is Umoja Community Mosaic. You can CLaude at Soccer Without Boundaries. That's my email. My phone number is on the website. And you can really send us email. Also, if you can give us a laptop, okay? You know, most of our people, they don't have big houses, because if you give someone a desktop, they're gonna need also the desk and everything. Laptop is very easy to carry and work on. If you have one lying around you don't use, please give us. And also, we still have to feed the people, you know, and we still have really need for food. In donations is really appreciated. Also, we're starting soccer again very soon. You know, if you would love to coach soccer, let us know. However, as a commitment, when it comes to driving food, you can choose to drive once in 2 weeks or once a week. When it comes to coach soccer, you can pick once a week. Also, I need a female soccer coach. If female soccer coaches out there, please.
Okay.
I do need you.
Okay. Perfect. Well, John, I wish we have more time because, as I said, a lot of people don't know this program, especially from the newcomers community, and that's going to be the topic of next meeting. We're going to dedicate it to the newcomers. So I just wanted this time to say, first of all, thank you for everything you've done for the last 23 years, I should say, not only the 11. You've done a really amazing service to our community here in Calgary. I applaud you for your heart, for your dedications. A lot of people speak very highly of you. So thank you very much, Jean-Claude, and I really appreciate your time being here with us tonight.
Thank you very much, Sam, and thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much, Jean-Claude. You have a wonderful, wonderful good night.
Thank you.
So with this, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I just want to leave you with this things about being involved in the community for the last 5 years. Soccer Without Boundaries and Jean-Claude definitely is one of the organizations that really work so hard. They're self-sufficient. There are only few people who work in this organization, but they achieve so much. I can assure you this. The work of 2, 3, 4 core people in this organization, literally they are doing as equal, if it's not more than, at least over 10 or 15 employees in some other organization. This organization, it's really an amazing organization. It provides service for kids through soccer, through activities. It helps families through food hampers. It helps women through the night women's routines and stuff. So if you're in the Southwest mainly, or Northeast or Northwest, Soccer Without Boundaries, please reach out to Jean-Claude. If you want to volunteer, Soccer Without Boundaries will be more than happy to take that. If you like to donate as well, Soccer Without Boundaries is really a community run and funded more than just government. So I'll leave you with that. A happy Black History Month, I should say. So I want to finish this month with Jean-Claude because for me, he's really an inspiring story. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful, wonderful good night. And as we say in Arabic, Assalamu alaikum, which is peace be upon you.